Oh. There we go. Now you can see the... Yeah. Great, whatever. Hold on. Bah. I'm working on the machine over here real quick, and then I will move over to there. I'm assuming people can hear me. How's everyone? We're gonna try to finish Penguins tonight, I promise. But I gotta get the yellow parts on. Ow! Move you over there. There we go. Haha! Just stop. Please. I'm begging you. You're 10 foot long. Just stop. There. We're good. Haha. But does not like my hair.
And everything that we have had has been delicious. It's all chef curated, and they have options for everybody. There's powder, flexible to fit your lifestyle. Things like shipping dates and you skip.
It just dinged at me. I don't know what. So we are working on Penguins, but it's been a really, really long week. And I don't have yellow parts done, and I barely got online tonight. So I'm working up the last of the pieces before we start. We're going to shift over to here so you guys can watch me sew crap together. But it's going to be a thing tonight. I'm sorry. How's everyone else? Come on, don't give me this shit. Thank you. If the machine decides it doesn't want to have a tantrum at me anyway. Hey, babe. How are you? I'll be on the big camera in a minute. I've got to get a couple pieces finished here. And then we just start stuffing things. Ow. Well, it depends. Are we talking about my mischief or my children's mischief? I imagine you heard about most of that, did you? I am finishing up the legs over here for one penguin, and then I will move over to the big camera to sew things together. But I barely made it online tonight, and I was not fussing with camera cables and crap. Thank you for the bits, Bacon. How are you? I am on the machine sewing the last penguin foot, and then I'm shifting the camera so I can assemble over on the other desk. Shh. Owie. Did you guys actually hear that this time? Evil, Swava. Bad. Okay, so I don't know how to fix that, but yeah, I've got an earbud in, so yeah. You guys are not hearing the music and ads, yeah? I mean, it's not playing something that would be a problem on stream right this second, but this playlist might get there. Did we just run out of thread? We did. Of course I did. Why not? Aye. That's fine. Swamp bobbin. I'm doing that one the hard way. I don't care. Okay, so now we're gonna shove this backward and get a mountain of stuffing over here. And move my camera. Hold on. Should be face cam set. I'm gonna have a workspace here in a second. Hold on. For anyone who ever wondered what my desk looks like during the day, this is the clean version. Okay. I need that. Oh, there's the black. Oh, white'll work too. Got white right there, so there we go. Okay. There we go. Stay. Right. So I just want this mess out of the way, and then we get back to work. There we are. Now I can see. Okay, we have very large. This mess is more visible on the camera than I thought it would be. Okay. Uh-oh. I dropped things. Yes, I'll find the pocket change later. The rest of that is stained, I promise. It is not going to damage the thing, but just in case, let's find a surrogate drop cloth here. That'll work. There we go. That should keep everything nice and clean. So I've got 2 arms, a body, 2 legs, 2 beak bits. That's what we're working with. Where's the proper needle box? There. I'll do that in a minute. And, you know, a giant fluffy cloud. Seeing the actual space I'm working with here, because you see it over there. Okay. Okay. So what's everyone else been up to? Yeah, thank you, Spava. we're gonna move this camera down because I think this might work better here. It's a bit more of a here's what I'm doing angle, I think. Hey Jan, how are you doing? We are working on penguins and stuffing control. Obviously I'm not good at that one. Can I swap those? No, that's not gonna work. Hold on. I'm gonna try and swap cameras real quick. Like, you're not supposed to do that, Jan. Stop that. Like, I know people are okay with seeing my face, but maybe we need to see what I'm working on better. That'd be good, right? Bit of a better shot of what I'm doing. The Pengi. Man, I need to stop trying. That might be where we're going with this here. Is to stop trying. Ah! Damn cables. Yeah, that's as good as we're getting. Sorry, folks. Oh, so not sick, just life. All I'm getting is my stream is experiencing issues. I'm not dropping frames, so I don't know what's up. Okay, yeah, it's not dropping frames. OBS is just having a stroke. So yay. We're going sans music today because that's gonna drive me batshit. I've been listening to too much noise. Uh-oh. Yeah, OBS is having a fit. I wasn't dropping frames or anything, it just had a fit. Dropped YouTube, let's see if that helps, because I can't handle this noise today. Too much time getting screamed at today. How's your day, Svava? What? Oh, oops. Sorry, folks, that was stuffing. Okay, I changed networks. Let's see what happens. That time it was a frame rate problem. Thank you. What are Svava and Bacon up to tonight? This week. I've been out for a while. Give me that shit again. Stay connected. Oh, good. Had good trip? The little penguin legs. Come on. Dang it. Sorry. I'm used to reaching to the left for the stuffing. What's silly, Jan? The only thing I can think of is maybe that used to be a chimney shaft? Crafting Bunny, thank you for the raid! How are you doing tonight? How was stream? Needles have become one. ¿Cómo se? Okay, that's not what I want to do. Heyo! How are you? Hello, Raiders. Thank you for joining the stream. I am working on a penguin doll that Small Bacon commissioned quite some time ago. But, it's been a day. It's been an adventurous day. I'm relaxing now. The headache's backing off. Let's go with that. It's certainly an improvement, yes. 20 minutes after we got up this morning, I learned a roof rat had gotten inside the house again, which is why we have a cat. That was quite a problem for a while there. It's not been in a long time, but every once in a while the strays will chase one in. Well, I found out about it because my 4-year-old ran up and said, "Mommy, Mommy, Mousy bit me." Apparently, they decided to try and save it from the dog. The 10-year-old knows better. The 4-year-old, well... Yeah, we're giving it a shot. Hold on. It's just not as easy as it sounds sometimes. Or start the other ones taped in place. And yeah, let's down a little further, please. Thank you. Now what? Screw it. I'll fix this crap later. Hold on. We're done. We're just done. There. Ta-da! Good deal without seeing my face today. Nope, not like that. There we go. Okay, right there. Oh, forget it. Oh, the 4-year-old learned jack and crap. He learned they have teeth. Okay, that's what he learned. But, yeah, they got bit pretty good, so we got to go to the ER first thing this morning. They both came home with antibiotics, and then I had to get home quickly and swap for the other 2 children to go to a medical appointment for cereal casting. And then by the time I got home, I was exhausted. I'm still sick. So my husband ordered pizza, and then we had to go... I shoved the kids in the car to go pick up the antibiotics and slushies from Sonic. Got home, medicated them, and barely made it to my desk in time to set up for stream. But yeah, now I'm down, I'm not moving, and there's rum in that ocean water, so yeehaw. Yeah, and the poor rat, we're pretty sure the dog was trying to play with it, because that one, I don't think she knows how to kill anything at all. The cat knows how to kill things, that dog does not. So I just kind of scooped the poor thing up in a container and dropped him in the giant trash can outside so he can, die in peace. But he's not going to get out of that trash can. That's a 4-foot tall trash bin. Yeah, it was harmed enough to let me scoop it up with a plastic toy bin, okay? That tells you it was not okay anymore. But it can't stay in my house. Like, that's why we got the cat. He eats them. The dog does not know how to eat them. Yeah, no, I was surprised a dog tried to catch it at all. Because when we had a rat problem, the dog we had at the time did not think they were prey. At all. Like, we still got the dog, by the way. We just didn't have this one then. We got her later. The younger dog. We didn't have the younger dog yet. We were at our wits' end at one point because they were climbing the tree next to the house to chew their way into the attic. And then we got a cat. That thankfully eats them, because if he wasn't eating them, there would be a horrible funk somewhere in my house by now. That's exactly what we think the younger lady did. Because she thinks she plays with the cat. Like, when we brought him home, that's exactly what she thought he was a small toy. And then he started hunting her, and... Look, I don't even pay attention to who starts it anymore. Somebody did, and somebody asked for it, and it's not my problem anymore. Now that he's a full-grown cat, and the 4-year-old is no longer a 1-year-old. When he was smaller, the cat hunting him was a bit of a problem. Now it's like, look, one of you started it, and I don't care. Someone's gonna finish it. Thank you for the bits, Jans! I actually like watching that little bit cup. Oh, it missed. Thank you, yawn. That one missed too. Fortunately, so did I, because that was almost my cuticle. No thanks. I need to scoot closer to the desk, so you guys can actually see what I'm sewing on. Shotgun blast. Hey, one made it in! Yay! Alright. That's the neck almost finished here. I'm tying it off right now, and I actually have to be able to see it. Normally I don't have to have this so close to my face, but the black thread on the black fabric's a bugger. Lady, unless the house alarm goes off, I don't want to hear it. You know, that's a reasonable assumption, though. I'd have thought the same thing. I didn't spend so much time watching Fairy Stream first. Fair. Very fair. Alright, now I'm actually nervous about how this thing's going to turn out, so we're going to work on a beak next. That's the wrong color. There we go. And I'm going to use a curved needle, because I like my fingers attached and not bleeding. Also, not really sure how my fingers would handle getting stabbed right now because it's covered in cast plaster. We're doing a thing with the kids, 2 of them, to stretch their feet because their feet aren't stretching as far as they're supposed to anymore. Bending, there we go. The ankles aren't bending as far as they're supposed to. The tendons have tightened. So to stretch the tendons, they are stretching the foot bending the foot as far as it'll go, and casting it that way for a week to stretch the tendon, and then doing it again the next week until we get it as far as it's supposed to go. And the one child likes to wait until you've got the plastered bandaging on, waiting for it to dry to twist his foot up. He thinks it's a fun game. So it took 2 nurses and me, and today the physical therapist was like, maybe we should give you gloves next time because I'm covered in cast plaster all over my hands. Because he's 8 years old. He's not a little 8-year-old. The kid's huge. Well, not huge, but he's a healthy, chunky kid. So it took all of us to pin his little butt down. Okay, I think that's about where a beak should go. Not knowing my luck, Jan. Maybe. It might. But, yeah. There we go, pins. Pin this little beak in place. Let's not use the yellow ones. That sounds like a great way to get stabbed. This is actually the part I'm worried about most. Damn it, you're a brand new pin. Go in there. This does not bode well for the needle. We're doing this one half of the beak at a time for aesthetic purposes. But I've never done something with a beak before, so this is new. Try making group in the beak easier. Come on. There we are. Oh, sorry. It doesn't have to be anymore. No, actually I don't. I assumed it's because they were bright red and hard to lose. Don't stab me. Thank you. Why are they traditionally tomatoes, Jan? Because I don't actually know. I may come from a long line of sowers, but I picked this up in the last 20 years. Poorly. Not even 20. How old's that kid? Yeah, 15 years. Last 15 years I picked this up. Much to the horror of my seamstress grandmother, let me tell you. Oh! I definitely know it was a status symbol to have ripe tomatoes in your house. Fresh produce of any kind was a status symbol for a long time, but tomatoes are finicky little... Especially further north. That makes sense, yeah. At least right up until one of your children starts putting your pins back into a real tomato, that's bad. No, that has not happened in my house. However, that toy tomato that I knit, that got pin cushioned pretty quick. No. Not a real one. I did knit them a toy tomato, and they filled that with pins. Which was not fun to remove, because it was knit on size 7 needles. The pins went straight in. It was like, shit. I don't need this pin. Stop it. Yeah, no. Ow. Well, it's about, the tomato itself is about this big. Because, like, I knitted these when they were babies. And, they tended to lay their heads on it. So I stabbed myself so many times just squishing the crap out of it to make sure I got them all. Because when I knitted that one, I think I finished that one when the youngest was... Oh god, he was a newborn. Yeah. Yeah. It was the only one I finished when he was little. Because the older dog, we were concerned because we deliberately waited until what we thought was our last child was about a year and a half old, so that we didn't have to worry about the dog having a jealousy issue with the baby, because that can be an issue, and we weren't getting a small dog. We knew that hands down. It was going to be a larger dog. She's a best guess is a pit lab mix, but she's a shelter dog, so we don't know. But that kid was not our baby. The last one, we wound up with a surprise later the next year, I think. No, yeah, it was the next year after we got her, because we got the dog when the youngest was 9 months old at the time, and took him in with us to pick a dog. But when the baby was born, we were fairly certain she was not going to try and hurt a baby. She loves children. But we took the necessary steps. We put up baby gates. We made sure, we didn't have to worry too much. Turns out what we had to worry about was the dog trying to cuddle him to death. Not on purpose, but she literally tried to crawl into a 3-day-old baby's lap to cuddle with him. She used to look at me and whine and whine. I've got a picture somewhere of the dog on the couch with the baby curled up against her tummy when he was like 2-3 months old. She loved him. She tried to crawl into bed with him. I put a kibosh on that real fast. Which bit us in the butt later because he used to use her as a package opener. He would do almost anything. The dog would do almost anything the children would ask her to. Then she got a little bit older and a little bit wiser. Because one of the children did things like go, "Here, Coco, would you like to share my jalapeno? Pickles, carrots." Most of the things they tried to share with her were fine. And the dirty looks I got when I wouldn't let them share chocolate, oh my God. 2-year-old trying to share his chocolate ice cream cone with the dog, and mommy flips out, and that boy was so mad at me. The kid gave me the dirty looks. The dog wasn't that concerned, because eventually the children were going to drop something for her to eat. It was inevitable. That boy was so mad at me, though, because I wouldn't, and it was, if it was cheap chocolate ice cream, I might have been like, she's got a stomach of steel, great. No. This was the triple chocolate chunk ice cream. That was going to make her sick. This was the good stuff. Okay, they had spaghetti and meatballs that night. That totally fixed it, apparently. It took me 3 years to convince all of them she can't eat chocolate. And then we had a whole new set of lessons with the new dog, because there are apparently some foods that some dogs can stomach and other dogs cannot. One of my dogs can stomach just about freaking anything that won't kill her. The new dog cannot. Watermelon rind, avocado, bunch of crap that isn't actually poisonous to them, but some dogs just can't handle it. First dog, I'm not entirely convinced that she couldn't stomach plastic. I don't know, we've never tested this theory, but I'm not convinced that she couldn't. This new one, grape jelly, did horrible things to her and my carpet at the same time. Which is ironic, because this is also the dog that we learned is allergic to poison oak. was very careful when we moved in here. We've got poison oak that grows on the shed that we get under control each year, but the first year it was really bad. And I kept the baby away from it because I was not dealing with anaphylactic shock in an infant. Well, the next year, I still wasn't sure if he was immune or not until I went outside and caught him feeding it to the younger dog. Turns out the kid's immune. Dog, not so much. She had a rash for a week. She was not happy. Suddenly, the dog being fed a jalapeno seemed much, much kinder in retrospect. There are nicer ways to learn to leave, not do what the children tell you to all the time. Now both dogs are old enough they've learned that there are some commands you just don't take from the kids. Okay. Bacon, does this look penguin-y to you? It looks like a mallard duck to me. Which may not be that different, honestly. But, okay, good. Then back to the sewing. I'm going to pin this in place first, because I don't want to deal with it slipping on me. So we're going to put the top beak just behind the bottom one, on the corners. Get on the bloody flippin' thank you. There and there. Not far, but far enough to make it look like it overlaps. And then I'm going to pin another one right there. And I may have to soft sculpt the inside of that face to compensate. I'm going to have to change this pattern. You can see that coming now. Turn. Thank you. I don't think I'm going to do that. Although as a gag gift later I might, considering this is going to Cymerk. Might seem appropriate. But not for this one. I have plenty of time to troll Psy. And plenty of time to earn it. But right now, I don't need to do that to troll Psy. So we play a vampire game on Saturdays. We played our first game this week. Psy is playing a Nosferatu. For those who don't know, those are the not-so-pretty vampires. They're, prefer the shadows, kind of ugly, that kind of thing. I'm playing a Kiasid with a glitter problem. We're roommates. Nosferatu? Whatever. I'm pretty sure I'm going to piss Psy off a lot. Or some equivalent thereof. Because I have a glitter issue. And we're sharing a house. Granted, the house is a side note because I live in a tree in the yard. And he lives in a basement. But that's not... Doom mates, yes, that's exactly how that's going to work out. Doom mates. Absolutely. And like Tommy's only roommate rules are, look, stay out of the basement, don't eat anybody that comes in, and you better not eat me in my sleep. Because yes, I'm that kind of vampire. I eat the vampires. I may steal that, Jan. That might wind up on vampire merch. We'll find out. You know, unless you have a problem with that. But Doom Mates is definitely going to pop up somewhere. At the very least, I'm going to tell Sai about it because she will think that's hysterical. And accurate. Cat is an idiot. What did he do? Oh, hold on. Why is that? Huh. Didn't know that was censored. That's amazing because I call my cat much worse things than idiot. He's an ass. Complete ass. She stripped him. Oh. Yeah, you've got a cat like mine. That's what mine does too. Mm-hmm. The only time my cat clears shelves and things and isn't deliberate is when it's my fabric. Because he's also a klutz and he sleeps in my fabric. So every once in a while he'll roll and the whole shelf just comes flying down with him. Not the shelf itself, the stuff on it. It is not his favorite way to wake up. No, mine doesn't do I meant to do that. He just sits there and looks at the shelf and looks at the ground where the fabric is and looks back a couple times. And then he curls up in the fabric again wherever it happens to be. I honestly think he's sitting there going, whatever, the 4-year-old's not here, I'm going back to sleep. He will not sleep out in the open on the floor or in a chair like that when the 4-year-old's in the room. He learned. That's an adventure I haven't had yet, Jan. Mine's not allowed to sleep with me. Well, not at night. Caught him sleeping on my husband a couple times during the day. I mean, that sounds like a cat problem. You know, it's the cat's problem. It's like you did this to yourself. I'm actually glad we got our dogs before the cat because our cat actually follows certain commands, like get out, get down. Well, that one's subjective. Try to tell him to get down out of the Christmas tree. That don't work. That's his hunting post. The first year we had this cat, we stuck the Christmas tree at the end of the hallway. And by the time we took the Christmas tree down, this is a fake tree, by the way, or else this would not have worked for him. There was a bald ring toward the top where the cat would sit and hunt. And by hunt, I mean he would wait for the dog that liked to play with him, or the, at the time, 1.5-year-old, no, he was not quite 2 yet, almost 2, his birthday's in January, to walk next to the tree. And then he'd drop on him. Or he'd hunt ankles from between the presents. So when he had, more than once he dropped on the wrong dog, because from above they're the same color. The older dog does not play with the cat. She will bust his ass. Quick and fast. She does not like him. But when there were enough presents down there, he would hunt ankles from below, and he made a point of waiting down there to reach out between presents, and by this point I'm pretty sure the presents were holding my tree up. They were all in boxes because we had a climber. He reaches out and he swats at the toddler's ankles. The toddler bends over to look under the tree, like any kid would, bends in half. He's looking at the upside down view. The cat comes out and goes face hugger on his head. So the kid falls on top of the cat. Nobody thought this through at all. And I had a perfect view of the whole thing. I was laughing my ass off. In the end, the cat still lost. Because as the cat runs down the hallway, the kid gets up and giggles and follows him. I'm like, well, that shouldn't be a problem again for a while. He also used to run up and shove the kid over. And the day he did it and the child did not fall down, that was gold. His eyes got, I kid you not, as big as plates all of a sudden, and he ran as fast as he possibly could. Our previous cat wasn't really, but he was a stray that rescued. And he loved the crap out of the 1-year-old. The same child was only 1 when we had the first cat. He was a rescued stray, and turns out he had a heart issue that killed him before we had him for more than 3 months. But he loved the kid. Most of the time. But that kid is how he got a home. I found him in the backyard, and the then 1-year-old was feeding him apple slices. And he wouldn't go away. I've got 2 large dogs at the time. So I let the dogs out back, I moved the cat, and then let the dogs back outside like they're supposed to be. And as soon as the dogs went in the house, that cat's back. And the nonverbal child started talking to him. So, being good parents, we took him into the vet to see if he was microchipped, which is the law here. And I kid you not, as soon as the child learned that he was not microchipped, he went, "My kitty." But that cat was the sweetest thing, unless you were a rodent. He was not sweet to rodents. And I will never forget the day I woke up, came outside, and found the entrails of a disemboweled rat wrapped around my chair. Did not need coffee that morning. I think he was trying to keep his skills up, just in case. That was the cat. The stray was the cat that, I was so glad I checked the oven before I turned it on. Because I have a picture where the 1-year-old goes, "Mommy, did it, Mommy, kitty cooking." I open the oven and that cat is sleeping on the floor of the oven. And the child had been trying to bait him in there for a week. And I just figured, oh, he's not stupid enough to go in there. He has survival instincts. Apparently the survival instincts were hide from the child. I just closed the oven again and checked every time I went to turn it on from that day forward. Because he could get out. It's not latched. It just push it open, you can get out. But he did as the toddler told him to, and got in the oven. I was like, oh my god. At one point said toddler picked that cat up and was walking down the hall with him. And that poor cat is clawing at everything, every wall, every doorway, trying to get the kid to put him down without scratching the kid. like, let me go, let me go. Like in one of those Tom and Jerry cartoons. Yeah, the current cat is a hunter. The current cat is therapy for the he's autistic kid. He's 8 now. Yeah, he's 8. The 8-year-old's autistic, and he's been talking with the cat. He's been learning social skills with the cat. I'm like, that's worth the $75 payment right there, because the shelter, it's $75 to have him fixed and microchipped and all that. Adoption fees, which is way cheaper than getting them fixed on our own. And even if we did not live in a city where you legally have to have your pet fixed if it's not for breeding, like you have to get a certificate for breeding, we want the animal fixed because we ain't dealing with puppies and kittens. I don't live on a farm anymore, and no thank you. I need to strengthen the other side of this beak. It's a little loose on the other side, on the top. See that? I don't like how that's pulling, so we're gonna sew that down a little better. I am sorry I've been checked out for the last 2 weeks. It's been fun not breathing, you know. D-Written was getting on my case because my lips were going grayish blue, and I thought, I'm just pale, it's not a big deal. And then I realized much later the problem was that I've got these ungodly bright washout bulbs in the bathroom where I was checking my lips in the mirror. So to me, it didn't look like anything was wrong, and then I used a different mirror and saw, oh no, that's the residual of blue. So we called a medical professional who told us, that's the problem with COVID, is you feel fine right up until you're dying and you're losing oxygen. And I felt freaking fine. So we're not sure if it was COVID or a derivative, or if I just caught something else that was giving me all kinds of hell. But I'm not actually immunized yet, because I don't have asthma. My husband has asthma. He was getting immunized first, and we've got 4 kids. We cannot both be knocked on our backsides at the same time. But yeah, it was turning blue. I was insanely exhausted all the time. So D-Written was on my case about rest. And he should have been. Don't get me wrong. I'm not good at taking care of myself. Never have been. He was taking care of me. But he was on my butt about rest, fluids, taking all the vitamins and things I was told to take, medicine, and I could not sit up at my desk for more than an hour for a while there. But I fixed it so I can recline in this chair, and then I managed to make the 4-hour stream work Saturday, for Vampire, so I should be good now. Getting better, taking medicine. But yeah, I was out of it. Now we're going to try and soft sculpt this back, because I do not like that being that far up. And what that means is we are going to squash this and sew it in a way that it is where I want it. That's soft sculpting. It's going to be a little bit easier for this doll than it would be for some other things. It's just back there in the beak. Dawn was on my... The D-Written was on my butt. The kids were on my butt. Dog was literally on my butt at one point. Alright, it has been an hour. We have the beak on. We have the body stuffed. I'm not sure we'll get all the limbs done, but we're gonna try. Okay, that is self-sculpted back. And that looks much better to me. Whack, whack. Not whack, whack. It's a penguin. I don't know what penguins say. Similar to quack, quack, I think. Let's not assume I know, okay? Work. Okay, close. Just use the curved needle for this. I don't feel like stretching it out. It's got the right thread on it, whatever. Maybe not enough of the right thread, but we'll find out. Sorry, I'm used to sewing up close to me. Need to break that habit before I start on the embroidery stuff. Actually, I need to put a pole up in a bit. How do I do that? Let's find out. Let's go over here. Twitch. Twitch. Not now. Me. My channel, please. Mute. Thank you. How do I put up a poll? No. Oh, here we go. Maybe not. Bah. Creator dashboard, maybe? I don't think so, but... Oh, here we go. Here we go. I found it. Poll. New poll. Here we go. Because I need a break from the sewing machine for a while. No, yes. Pengu. God, my kids can sing that from memory. There we go, there's a poll. There, that's... I have to take a break from my sewing machine Thursday. Like, this is... I appreciate the commissions immensely, but I need to avoid burnout, so we gotta do something else for a while. I have embroidery I can repair. I've got all kinds of stuff. Crowd control, Minecraft. I am willing to give it a go again. It was not a bad. It was fun. It's just yeah. Kids like it. You may even have plural watching this time, but I don't know. We will see. Probably not. Because that wall is still a nightmare. I don't know, that depends on their behavior. The oldest certainly would be able to watch. Help, whatever. Come in. No. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. My hand sewing is not good. Not even close. Well, at 4 in the morning, you certainly should be going to bed, Yon. Have fun. Sleep well, or try to. At least the cat will sleep well, I suppose. Thank you for stopping by. I think some of you just want to see my stab counter go up. How do you tell who's voting what? I can't tell. I just accidentally voted. Oh, I didn't. Okay. Just do. I'm going to leave it up till it's out of its timer, but yeah. I am not against doing the embroidery, but you will hear me talk about what I'm fixing. Like, a lot. Because that was from, that's my great-grandmother's handiwork. That was the closest thing to a family matriarch I've ever met. Probably ever will meet, all things considering. Mom's not far off the bar. My hand sewing is crap. Oh my god. I'm not sure this is getting finished tonight. Bacon, thank you for the bits. Why did the tiger not go off? GiftBot's having a stroke. I'm gonna refresh it. how hydrated and stretched. There's a stretch in the posture check, and well, you say all good, but I still gotta fix it. That's not. We're gonna restart GiftBot. Night, Bacon. Have a good night. There will be pictures when this is done. Thank you for the bits. Thank you for stopping by. Wherefore, stupid. There, GiftBot, start up. Let's go. There. If hydrated and posture checked and stretched. Where's the thread? Thread! ¿Cómo se? Ah. No, that's the wrong color. How? It was right here. Okay. It's the magic disappearing thread. I hate stuffing. Okay, back to the sewing mess. I'll get through this. Threaded needle. I may need to ask my mom if I can borrow her standing embroidery hoop. She's quilting hoop. It's a quilter's hoop. She's offered to let me borrow it to fix this quilt before. I just don't know if she still owns it. That was years ago. I'm going to have to ask, because that would make this so much easier. It's a queen-size quilt my great-grandmother made when I was a baby. I think I am one of 3 cousins with a quilt that flipping big from baby. She's made plenty more quilts that size for people since. My siblings, me. But this is one of the very few that were. It's a full-size quilt for a baby. I was the first girl great grandbaby, not grandbaby. I was the first girl great-grandbaby. I was the second great-grandbaby, period. So, but this thing is huge, and it's got a lot of damage from on the embroidery. There's a lot of damage because I've been using it for 30 years. I closeted it a while back for its own safety, but it's been 30 years. Plus, that it's been in use. It needs some help, because my mom, even if she possessed the skill to fix it, and if she didn't, she could figure it out, she ain't got the time. She hasn't for a very, very long time. And, Grandma's gone, but she couldn't have, her eyesight was too far gone to fix it. God, years ago, almost a decade ago, she just couldn't do this kind of thing anymore. So I realized, okay, if I want this fixed so that my grandchildren can see the dang thing, I gotta do it. And I haven't done embroidery in oh sweet God, I was much young. I was a kid. I was like maybe a teenager max the last time I did that. So it's gonna be a fun experience and a lot of stabby. Stabby. Is that hole done now? I think it is done. Twitchy. View results. Yeah, that's embroidery. Okay. That's appropriate. Bacon bought it for me. Junie helped buy it, helped him find it, because Bacon likes to buy, he likes to fund the hobbies he wants to see, and he wants to see embroidery. But, I was talking about that quilt on stream, and I have to take the quilt into a store to find a good selection of threads, because like I said, I haven't embroidered anything since I was a child. I've certainly never purchased the flipping supplies myself before. So I bought a cheap pack of embroidery floss, and it has almost none of the proper colors in it. And then my kids happened to it. So Bacon got Junie to help him find the good ones, because Junie does cross-stitch and embroidery floss are the same thing. It's two different crafts, but it's not super different. It uses the same thread and needles. And actually, I got Junie's cross-stitch. She finished a cross-stitch and sent it to me, if I can get it down. And this thing, the camera does not do it justice, okay? It is very sparkly. This is cross-stitch. It is similar to embroidery in the thread and the needles you use, but that fabric is not the same by any stretch. That uses a specific fabric, and you get these beautiful little pixelated, I guess is the word that's coming to mind, pictures with cross-stitch. And with embroidery, it's usually not as well done, not as filled in as thoroughly. It takes more work to do it that way, and it's not pixelated usually. You can make it that way, but it's usually not. There's cross-stitch has, like, I don't know if Junie's here, she could tell you, but most of it is embroidering crosses, X's, all over the place to do the pattern. And embroidery has so many stitches that you can learn. And I am a novice. I know 2, and I can't tell you what they're called. But that is a beautiful cross stitch that Junie did for me. I want it. I forget when I won it. It must have been for a St. Jude thing. But I won it and completely forgot that I'd won it. But you can see the skill Junie's got with the cross stitch there. She knew what supplies I needed, where Bacon didn't, and what's if I did? I was like, I used my mom's crap. got a nice, pretty embroidery book somewhere. I'll find it. And we will turn it into an education. We will identify the stitch that my grandmother used and find it, learn how to do it properly, and fix the quilt properly. So, now we're closing it with a foot. Ta-da-da! Foot. Yeah, this may not get fully finished tonight, but we're going to try. If it doesn't, I'll finish it up tomorrow. It's not like this is horribly complex. And my kids do not take well to having little pieces of bears running around anymore. They want to see it finished, dang it. My children are kind of like Black Friday shoppers, okay? They're like, I want to see this thing finished so I can put in my order already. Also got after a decent break, I've got a memory bear I've got to do too still for my mother-in-law. Somebody mentioned something. I don't remember. Figure it out. Made 1 year for Christmas. I made memory bears of all of the grandkids for my mother-in-law. And since then I've had to add a couple bears because I've had a couple kids. And then my sister-in-law has a right about 1 year old now. I think he's pushing 2. And I haven't gotten his memory bear done yet. Because I honestly didn't have time last year. She barely had time to get me the blanket. But I made memory bears out of... For all of my kids, it was made out of receiving blankets. And then for her daughter's kids, they're older. So, like, she'd gotten rid of the baby clothes long ago. But when I texted her and asked, do you have anything I could use to make a memory bear, she managed to dig up a baby sleeper and a onesie from her kids for me to use. Because she absolutely loved the idea. And shipped them to me. Like, she shipped those things to me instantly. So I could get those done. And I've got to do the youngest little grandsons next. Oh crap, I still need to get Junie goals, don't I? It's been a day. I'm starting to feel that rum. Body, 2 feet. Let's get some wings closed up. And yeah, this is not getting assembled tonight, but I will get it assembled. You've seen me assemble dolls before. You know how it works. Ow! No stabby. one wing closed up. Other wing needs to be closed up. Come on. Ow. I'm finishing closing out this last flipper, and then we're probably signing off soon. Who are we going to raid tonight? We've got Abby Fabby, Hyper Zen, Teal, Panfred Noodle, FK, Better Monster. Those are who I'm seeing up. Those are the ones I've seen. Who are we after? Thinking I'm leaning toward dumping people on Fred, because I know he's not signing off anytime soon. Like he'll sign off, but he's a little ways from that normally. Or FK, she's usually a little ways from off too, isn't she? Who's doing what? They're both in Makers and Crafting. Let's see. FK is embroidering, and Fred is down to chatting. I think we're going for FK today. Because there goes the flipper. I'm getting ready to sign off. And probably collapse somewhere. So, thank you guys for coming by, for the bits, for watching me stab myself repeatedly, and doing the little pull thing. We will probably increase the stabity Thursday, and I'm okay with that. I will see if I can borrow the standing embroidery frame from my mom. She said she hasn't used it in a while, so I'm not really worried about it. She wouldn't loan it to me if she wasn't okay with it staying here for a while, especially if she knows what I'm doing with it. But thank you guys for stopping by, for the bits, for the chatting. I feel a lot better now than I did when I sat down. I will see you guys Thursday, and we will finish this penguin, because he's almost done. He's just not, he's still in pieces. We have to work on this assembly line thing. So let's go see what this cutesy kawaii thing FK's working on is. It might help if I can spell her name at all. Yeah, I will see you Thursday, and I will be more caffeinated and less harried unless someone tries to break a bone or something. So, I will see you. Have a good day tomorrow.
Okay, hold on.